Well, good morning. I think it's still morning. Yes, barely, but it's still morning. Happy New Year. So we made it through another year and all the things. So this is basically, I took notes. I got notes. I have notes, but just wanted to wish everyone a Happy New Year. Today is January 1st, 24. Maybe this will go up today. Hopefully it won't be like the pepper video and be, 4 or 5 months later. Anyway, so basically this is just the year in review and see how we did, see what we did, and talk about the coming year, what the plans are. I'm not a New Year's resolution kind of person. I prefer goals. So that's hopefully we accomplished some of those goals last year with the chickens and things like that, and we had a really good season, and we were just blessed with a lot of things. And then we had some failures, but that's part of farming, gardening, anything in life, right? You're never going to get 100% out of everything you do. So anyway, that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. Everybody, I'm hoping everyone, kind of saw some of the stuff we did this year, and, you can think about doing it yourself. A couple of things, I guess I probably have said it a few times. This, I am not monetized. This is not for money and not for any YouTube accolades by any means. So it has just been more of just a little video, a vlog, I guess. So twofold. One, my child, which is an adult, a big adult now, is in service, and it was a way to just show him, he can see us at home whenever he wanted to see what we're doing. Just a little taste of home. Obviously, I don't get to see him very often. I think it was May. It's different, it's just a different way of life. Yes, Christmas, do the whole video chat thing, but it's just much different when they're home. You could touch them. I get lots of hugs. And then the second part was to see how much food I could produce in such a small, amount of space, working a full-time job. And my job changed a bit here this fall. Same place, just more things. So I spend a lot more time at work than I have in a long time. So that's going to be a little different this year. So things will be a little bit different there. But that's kind of what this is. All these little videos have been about, is just showing you can accomplish quite a bit with the limited space and limited time. Now, don't get me wrong. I do go in the summer when we're in drought. Obviously, you're out there every day after work checking for produce, picking produce. Does things need to be watered? When did it rain? When are we going to get rain? And now with the addition of chickens again, that's an everyday process. But hey, you guys have cats and dogs. They have things you have to do every day as well. You have to feed them. If you've got dogs, you got to walk them, or whatever you need to do. Of course, luckily the cat's fairly self-sufficient. You put food and water out there, and he's like a dog. We don't actually have to walk him, but he He's like a dog. He tells you it's time to go outside to go do his business. He doesn't use the litter box. It's weird. Um, but hey, it saves on cat litter, right? Twice a day, he's outside. Um, and he's our little alarm clock to let us know it's time to go out. Anyway, I'm getting off the subject here. So, year in review. The first part of the year, chicks, chickens. So, got the chicks and, of course, raised them up. Now, I will say this, we got the meat birds. That was not planned. That was not planned. The plan was barred rocks, and that plan fell through. So, um, when it came down to getting some chicks, it's like, okay, this is all they have. So this may be all we do is get these chickens or these chicks, meat birds, the Red Rangers, and that may be it. So luckily though it wasn't, and the next day I was able to get actual traditional laying chickens. But so the meat birds were not a thing. So there was, switch it up. Now, what are we going to do? So we learned quickly how to process chickens at home on our own. And I think we did a pretty good job. Looked up a video by Justin Rhodes and how to do it without the mechanics, without equipment and other stuff. And we did 2 the first day, and it worked out. So that was good. We, of course, we got 6. I think we got 6 birds as far as the meat birds, and we culled 5. By the summer, we had culled 5. We have 1. His name is Little Red. I kept him because he was just so small. I wanted him to raise up a little bit more, and then it became he's the ruler of the roost, and he keeps the big barred rock rooster Checkers in line. Does keep him in line. Now Checkers is pretty rough on the girls, so we're gonna have to think about some things there. I've noticed some, bare spots on their saddle, so I'm gonna have to think about what I'm gonna do there. But so far he hasn't, drawn blood or anything. But we did that. We obviously built a coop. That took many months because it was just in stages. We got the coop ready, got the birds in, do a lot of finishing things, and then at the end of the summer, put up the permanent run to it, and it is predator proof. So literally dug a footer, poured concrete, built up from there. I'll try to take a picture and add it in here. I may add some pictures for the year in here. I'm not sure, but I'll try to do that. You guys haven't seen the complete project. I don't believe. And then, so let's talk garden. Boom and bust, right? You always have a boom, you always have a bust. So let's just start with the bust. The bust were zucchini, broccoli, potatoes, and my fall crops. Got no fall crops? Yeah, some of the pumpkins, and none for me to harvest. I think 1 for me to harvest, and the rest got bit back by a cold snap. Put the pumpkins in pretty late, about a month late actually. And then we had a cold week in September, and that was a killing frost. Yeah, killing frost for the pumpkins only. And the small, which was surprisingly, and the small cabbage plants, they got bit back pretty harsh. And then cabbage worms and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, gotta love it. I guess they need to eat too, but hey, growing this for me, well, for us. And then, of course, the booms this year were tomatoes, did really well. comparative to 22. And then, the peppers. I can grow peppers, I guess. Onions. That was great. I loved it. I loved it. We just finished up um, basically saving what was left of the onions um, last week. Onions and garlic. I've got almost 2 quarts of onion cloves in the freezer. Um, so that's good. I've got to put the dehydrator on today, so that's going to smell awesome in here for a while. I'm going to dehydrate the garlic, what was left of it, and then I think those were the biggest booms. What else did we do this year? We've added no, wait a second. Let's go back. Things that I did new. Let's just talk about that. Things that I did new this year were mayonnaise. Learn to make mayo. It's gonna be a perfection thing, but I've learned to make mayonnaise from our eggs, so that's cool. Canning projects new this year. I do all my own. Let's see here, broth now. So there is no more buying from the grocery store as far as any kind of broth. That's this one right here. Where's it at? There, right there. The really clear looking one right there, that is actually turkey broth, and there's a bunch more up there. But that's from a fresh, uncooked turkey. So that was all the scraps and the bones uncooked. And then the far end, where's it at? The far end over there, that is basically like roasted bones from the turkey from the previous Thanksgiving, or let's see, 22's Thanksgiving, where we had deep fried the turkey. So that is a much richer broth, or I guess bones, stock. There is a little meat, so broth, stock is kind of almost interchangeable in my opinion. And everything in the middle is vegetable. I save all the scraps. So all your, let's see, carrot peels, onion bits, the root end, the tops, all the things that you're gonna just trash. Don't do that. Don't do that. There is a gallon bag in the freezer at all times to throw all these little things in, whether it's any peelings, anything like that. The root end from celery, onions, carrot tops, carrot peels, all these things. Okay, they get thrown in the bag, and when that bag is filled completely full, that gallon bag, then I take that, put it in the roaster that you see behind me, and fill that with at least a gallon or more of water, maybe some seasonings. I try to keep it a little basic, and then just kind of let that roll all day on 250, or whenever I get around to having the time to jar it up. And that is pretty much one of the easiest things to make. So all the bones and all the scraps get saved now to make our own broth. It's free. It's just the use of a jar. What else did I do this year? Oh, we made that chocolate cherry jam, which is really yummy. Gave that as gifts, and I use it on ice cream. Haven't tried it on a biscuit yet because I'm partial to either honey or gravy on biscuit. Balsamic onion jam. Yes. I'm just going to say yes. That stuff. Oh my, where's it at? Let me guess. It's way up here. I did it in little jars because they say you want to do, keep it, what you open, you want to probably use it within a couple of weeks. So I open this up. That is burgers. It was so yummy. That was it. Plain old hamburger and this. That was all. It was great. if I get a good onion harvest again this year, yes to this. And the house smells so yummy all day, cooking those, just letting those onions just melt down. Oh my God, it's so good. And also make my own. I'm from Carolina, if you didn't know already. I am a Eastern Carolina sauce when it comes to barbecue. So vinegar all the way, no tomatoes, none of that stuff in there. No sugar sweet. I love a good, I want the meat. I want the meat and the just vinegar, red pepper flavor of barbecue sauce. So I make my own that now. And of course breads and things like that. So to finish out talking about last year, I keep, the reason I keep records like I do, I keep when I did things and when I start harvesting. So you want to know, just give you an idea of obviously you want to know where you planted things last year so you can move things around for crop rotation. When the weather was right, that's why I keep all these records to see what I did at what point last year. Do I need to change that up this year? Like the pumpkins, they need to, that was all in just error, me not getting around to it. I knew when I was supposed to plant them, I just didn't, and decided, hey, you know what, I'm going to try to get these things going. And it worked, but they did need a little bit more time, only because we got a really cold snap. And then it turned hot again because all the peppers saved. I picked peppers the last day of October. That is unheard of. That is unheard of. But anyway, so that is why I keep all these notes on when I put things, started seeds, transplanted, started picking, that kind of thing. And I will let you know, where was it at? Our eggs started coming in on July the 15th. So from July 15th to the end of July, we had 60 eggs. Yeah. So we quickly started, learned how to use those eggs in many, many ways, and giving them away, and now we sell them. So actually selling is helping with the feed. So we basically, it's free. Yeah. All the eggs we get, we keep what we need when we need them, and then the rest get sold every week fresh. And I warn people, I let them know that these eggs have not been washed and they are fresh, because I'd never put them in the refrigerator that week when I'm selling. I just keep them out in my little basket, and maybe you have to blow a feather off or whatever. Maybe they get a feather. I don't know. They know they're fresh, and they don't bring any home. So we get rid of them. Now, let's go back to 23 and what we did. So, like I said, the biggest things this year were tomatoes. And these are the weights that I recorded. There's a lot of times that I just forget, that things just happen and I just bring it in and just put it over there and don't do the weigh in. I try to weigh them in as I bring them in, but sometimes you just, you see a tomato and as you're walking by, like, oh, okay, that one's ready, So total weighed tomatoes was 80 pounds. I was quite happy with that. That doesn't sound like a lot to some people. I know my parents grow hundreds of pounds, but they're retired and they've got way more plants than I do. And that's a market garden. So for what little bit of space I had, I think it was 32 plants. Yeah, I think that was about it. So for the total weighed was 80. I don't think I did anything. Now, like I said, zucchini was the bust. And, you know, I had 2 plants. One, I looked back, one of the plants ended up had 1 zucchini on it, and then all the blooms ended up being male blooms, so I never got another one. And then I think I got 3 or 4 off the other plant, and then the squash beetles came in, so that was bad. So the zucchini ended up being only 7 pounds compared to 22 at nearly 50. So anyway, let's get on. So the total weighed after everything. Oh wait, carrots. Holy cow, do you remember that? Carrots, almost 28 pounds. I did a little short there at Christmas. I was using fresh carrots from the garden, and I stopped picking, well, I pulled those in, when did I pull those? In June? First part of June, a little later than I did last year. So, yeah. I think for carrots, that was a boom. Why didn't I write that down? Totally forgot about carrots. Oh my gosh. So anyway, go back. Total weighed was 253 pounds. Yes. And then when you estimate, I threw in another 35 pounds for estimates because I forgot to weigh the potatoes. There were several times I didn't weigh up peppers. Of course, you can't weigh lettuce. Well, you can, but yeah, I didn't. And then I didn't even think about like herbs. You know, there's a lot of herbs right over here. So yeah, there's a lot more than that. But 288 is kind of what I got out of produce this year, at least. And then the chickens, we harvested 5 of the 6 birds for 22.5 pounds. So anyway, I've talked a whole bunch on what happened this year. Let's talk about, it looks like I'm running out of time. So this year, the plans are more meat birds. No, you just can't beat the flavor. We are so excited about it. Yeah, more meat birds. So this year, one of the goals is a chicken tractor just for meat birds. And I plan on doing two runs. So we don't fill our freezers too full of just chicken, because we just had to buy another freezer to hold another deer. So anyway, yeah, that's the plan. So I'm hoping for 10, at least 10 in the spring and 10 in the fall. That'll help out a lot. Other things are, we just got other goals, just building projects around here, not necessarily like farming or homesteading, but the biggest goal is more meat birds. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at and what happened this year. I know I've spent a lot of time rambling on about last year, but it was a good year, and I feel blessed with everything. And you'll notice that the the cannon shelves just finally got a coat of stain last night or yesterday. Finally, because I'm still up in the air on how I'm going to do things, but you know, it is what it is. We have, I have some fabric right there that I bought a year ago. So it's definitely going to get a curtain to preserve the freshness, but it looks really nice now. Everything just stands out so much. I know it's shaky, but I just wanted you to see everything. So lots of gaps already. We are using it. And I have got to go ahead and wind this up for the day because I have beans soaking over there to can this afternoon, and few other things. So hopefully this will find you well, and this year you will be blessed. And as always, many blessings. Happy New Year. Bye-bye. Okay, so I did I do with it? Veg soup. More vegetable soup. Tomato powder from those tomato skins. So the tomatoes weren't ready yet. Oh yeah, this is gonna be yummy. Get the bread that I made yesterday. A little grilled cheese sandwich action. And warm vegetable soup on this cold winter day. Okay, so in the previous video, I totally forgot to mention it's January. So other YouTubers are doing their normal thing, and I'm going to join in a little bit. Not as contributing, but just kind of doing our own thing. But Three Rivers Homestead is doing the Pantry Challenge. I believe Set and Stays is also. Several of them are doing it. So basically, in the month of January, for us, we are not going to be buying from the store. We're going to use out of our pantry, which we already do, because you can see the holes. But there are no rules. My rule for us for the January Pantry Challenge will just be dairy as grocery store purchases. So it'll force me to make bread every week for sandwiches and different things, but dairy. So we don't have any dairy animals here. So, and we do use a lot of cheese. So that will be our one purchase for the month of January. Now, if comes some big sale or something like that, which I don't generally follow a lot of, maybe, but that won't be used. That'll be put away. We're only going to use everything from our pantry, our working pantry, and what we have in the fridge and freezer. Hence why I did the fridge clean out the other day. Also, over at Set and Stays, she's doing January, and I've already started. Obviously, I'm doing the beans today, and I have 2 gallons of tomatoes left in the freezer from this summer. I just haven't decided what I'm going to do with it. I thought about barbecue sauce. Yeah. Because, I like my Carolina stuff, like I said. There can always be more, pepper soup base, since I have the dehydrated. This is all bell peppers, and that little canister there is all Italians. So, lots of peppers, and all the onions we still have, and the garlic and everything. So I probably have enough to make a whole nother batch of the pepper soup. I'm not sure. We'll do something. I don't know. But yes, those tomatoes have got to be used. So this is the final. We'll come back again, I'm sure, at some point and, talk about some other things. So, all right. Bye.